What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Tyrako here. In yesterday's video, I did a speed run team for Ice Golem stage 9 or 10 hard. Stage 9 is Spirit Affinity. It's going to be the better affinity for a lot of these champions. So stage 9, if you want more consistency, I mean, no crits, you get weak hitted pretty often, and it's much more manageable. Whereas stage 10, if you get the unfortunate huge slam, even if you have no War Master, which you don't want to have on Ice Golem, no War Master, no Giant Slayer, no real damage, you're eventually going to do a little bit of a crit and go over that threshold of those different percentages of HP the Ice Golem has. He's going to do the huge slam, probably going to have the 2 side minions up, and your team's going to wipe, especially if it's a crit. On stage 9, there's no crits if you're bringing Magic Affinity champions, so you're much more likely to have a much more consistent team if you're bringing Magic Affinity champions specifically. Now, yesterday's video, I talked about a speed farming team. Well, speed farming is relative on Ice Golem because Ice Golem's still pretty slow. But this was a team, okay? We had Elva, Crypt King, Seer, Ghostborn, and Kymar. Now, in that team, you could switch out Elva for Mithrala. I think Mithrala could work great. You're going to have to gear them a little bit differently, so I'm not going to go into that in this video. But instead of Crypt King, you could use Walking Tomb Dring. You could use, well, not on stage 9. You wouldn't do that on stage 10 because of the affinity. But on stage 9, you could use Ninja, potentially. You could use Tyrant Ixomore. Seer, she's amazing, so just leave her in there. We have Lydia instead of Ghostborn, works perfectly fine. And then potentially Renegade instead of Kymar, depending on what team setup you have. But today, we're not talking about the speed team. Today, we're talking about this duo team right here. So in yesterday's video, I talked about how Crypt King plus Elva wasn't very consistent for me, okay? I ran it. It did like 82% success and then like 90% success. And you could do it duo, but if you're somebody wanting to do duo content, you're wanting to be efficient. And having a team that loses, it's not efficient, right? Obviously. So what I've done is overnight, I did a lot of tweaking to this team. I made so many different tweaks, even in the team presets to the who was in the lead, everything I could think of, I tried to make those tweaks. So this is what I've landed on. I'm gonna show you guys everything first, and then we'll do a run because the run is kind of slow. But if you're working on efficiency, speed shouldn't be that big of a deal. It's averaging like 6.5 minutes. So not a huge fan of it personally. I'm gonna try to make it faster. But this is what I have working so far, and I'm going to try to come out with some more accessible teams, but this is what we have so far. So Elva, round 1, don't use the res. Crypt King can survive perfectly fine. Round 2, don't use the res. Crypt King, once again, survives perfectly fine. Round 3, we do have the res up because those big slams, we don't have Crypt King built to survive those big slams, but Elva is built specifically to survive those big, huge slams. I'm going to get into that more in just a minute, but here we go, round 3. So Crypt King Grawl, round 1, we open with this, and then we prioritize this, okay? We never use the HP burn again. What happens with Crypt King is he does the AoE HP burn, places it on everybody. I want to make sure he has that first thing round 2. Round 2 has Datura Rhymehides, Nightmare, they're terrible champions. They place the block debuffs, super, super annoying. So I want to make sure Crypt King goes into that next round having that HP burn. So in that first round, we turn off the HP burn after using it as the opener. And then his A3 ability will always extend the duration of the HP burn. See, it says attacks all enemies, places a freeze debuff for 1 turn and an HP burn debuff for 3 turns on targets already under HP burn. So you place the HP burn, and then this ability just keeps the HP burn up. You never have to use this one again. So then round 2, we have this one, and then we have the A3. So there we go, perfect setup. And then round 3, we do the exact same thing. A2, and then A3, and we're good to go. Obviously the foods, there's in the team presets, they don't matter. Use whatever you want as foods, and you're gonna be good. So as far as the gearing goes for these champions, this is where it's very, very important. This is where I was having trouble. So Elva is in 3 sets of Defiant. But before you start saying this is a pay to win set, which it arguably is because you literally have to pay for it to get it, which by the way, I think all the Forge passes are very much worth buying. $20, finish it out, you get a ton of rewards. If you're spending money in Raid, I'd almost say this is the best deal. The Daily Gym Pack is the best, is known to be one of the best deals, but honestly, if it's up to me, the Daily Gym Pack, it's $10 versus $20 for the Forge Pass, right? I think it is. But if it's between those two, I mean, this is really good stuff. Like, this is really good stuff. The energy you spend from the Daily Gym Pack, I don't think could get you this much 6-star gear. But I'm not going to debate that. You guys let me know what you think. I think the Defiant gear is just so good. But we have a gear set that's very similar in a lot of ways. And that's Stalwart. So Stalwart is minus 30% damage from AoE attacks. So the Ice Golem, that's the only thing we're worried about ignoring or reducing the damage from is those AoE attacks. And since his big slam is the scariest thing, it ignores defense for the side minions still alive, And since most of the time we're going to have both of them alive, the Ice Golem's going to be ignoring 100% of our defense. So HP and AoE damage reduction are going to be the two most important things. So Stalwart gear plus Immortal to give yourself more HP is going to be great. If you don't have 3 sets of Defiant, do that. Go Stalwart plus 2 sets or a set of Immortal so you can have that extra HP. Go whatever you can to get as much HP as you possibly can, and you're going to be in a good spot. This gives us just enough stuff to survive the Ice Golem's big slam. We have good HP. The defense doesn't matter on the actual Ice Golem so much. It does matter kind of on the waves, but honestly, strong affinity, we don't have too much of an issue. 259 speed seems to be good. Not super specific as long as you're faster than the Ice Golem. 250 plus, you should be good to go. Resistance and accuracy, nothing. Resistance, you could go 435, but honestly, 435 plus 80,000 plus HP. Honestly, I think 75,000 is probably the lowest side you can go. Good defense, we don't really need the resistance. She cleanses so frequently. So our A1 places tons of continuous heals. It allows for the damage dealer or whoever the second person you bring to really not need regeneration. My Crypt King is in regeneration, but we'll get into that in just a minute. But our A2 cleanses, block debuffs, increase speed. Overall, just an amazing kit. Heals every turn, so good. Everything's fully booked, definitely recommend it. And then our masteries, this is what we have. So this is actually a really good ability down here. Time intervention, very important. Does give us some nice turn meter boosting. But then pick up this, okay? Blast proof. Reduce more damage from those AoE attacks. Get any bless or any ascensions you can on her as well. It's going to reduce even more the damage you take. You don't need improved parry. This reduces the damage you take from critical hits. And if you're strong affinity, you're never going to get hit with a crit. So definitely take blast proof over improved parry. So that's a setup for the masteries. There we go. And next champion is Crypt King Grawl. So Crypt King Grawl currently for me is built to solo stage 24, I think, of Spider, as well as stage 20. So he's in Defiant gear plus regeneration, plus pretty high HP, good defense, pretty fast speed, and then resistance plus accuracy. Honestly, if you want him just to do this specifically, you don't really need resistance. Elva's gonna res him, so if he dies, not a big deal. All you really need is good HP, good defense for the waves, because Elva's res is turned off during the waves, good speed to make sure you're going fast, and then good accuracy. Good accuracy is gonna be like 335. After any buffs, I believe it is 335, 345, somewhere around there. You're gonna be in a good spot. You don't need regeneration. If you want a couple sets of Defiant, you're gonna be great. But honestly, it's not very specific as far as his gearing goes, because like I said, Elva's gonna res him once you get to the actual Ice Golem. You just gotta make sure he survives the waves. So speed, HP, defense, the typical stuff for solo champions. If you're also gonna solo Spider or something with him, then there you go. Go ahead and build him like this. So as far as skills go, the A2 and the A3, A2 needs to be booked, the A3 doesn't matter. A2 definitely booked. Now, this part's very important. So we're 10 minutes into the video. Hopefully you guys are here for this, but this is very, very important. Getting retribution or getting some revenge accessories. So if you have revenge accessories from the clan shop and they actually make sense for his build, put them on him. If you have the ability to get this, which you will if you have his masteries done, which you should, get retribution. The Ice Golem's gonna hit most of the time to do the amount of damage to proc that counterattack, and that counterattack is gonna allow you to place a decreased attack from that A1 ability, making the Ice Golem go from an absolute monster to a little bit less of a monster. Not so bad, not so risky every time he hits. So definitely make sure you get that ability, okay? Also, it says has 100% chance of 100% in chance instead if the target is under HP burn. Sweet. So 100% chance to place decreased attack if the target's under HP burn. Very, very nice. The decreased attack has definitely made the runs more consistent. Now, you guys may be thinking, wait, we have no proof that this is actually 100% consistent. Well, here you go. These are the runs that I did last night. Here we go. These are all the setups. I'm not showing my screen. Boom. There we go. So before we start this run, 30 out of 30. It's not 100 out of 100, but it's 6 minutes and 50 seconds. So it's an average runtime that's pretty long. I want to fix that, but this is what I have so far. Pretty new content. We're duoing it with Elva plus Crypt King. Possible substitutions. I'm not going to give a ton of ideas yet though, because I'm not for sure what else is going to work. So once I test some more things, I'll share it with you guys. I want it to be 100%. Stage 9. This is working great. 30 out of 30. Now, this is with Elva in the lead. I did try it with Crypt King in the lead, and it was 19 out of 20. So we failed 1. So when I'm switching Elva with Crypt King in the lead spots, it took it to 30 out of 30. So there could be bad RNG. You could get slammed by the Ice Golem and then get some hits and just make it go bad. But honestly, with the way Elva's built now, with the 3 Defiant sets, I don't think that's very likely. 3 Defiant, good speed, very high HP, and you're going to be in a good spot. Her base stats are very, very good. So if you have her, awesome. You're going to have a great team. There's other champions who could possibly do great. I've heard Pythion, I've heard Walking Tomb Dring. Gonna be different because you're gonna do stage 10 instead, probably with those champions. I guess Walking Tomb could do stage 8. Pythion and actually, yeah, Pythion plus Walking Tomb Dring could probably do stage 8, maybe. Still can get crit with Pythion, so I'm not for sure about that. Stage 10, if I can find a consistent team for stage 10, I'll definitely do it. But guys, let me go ahead and start stage 9. We're gonna use these 3 champions. Doesn't really matter, obviously, food champions. Doesn't matter what we use. Actually, let's go ahead and change these out because these are all max level. So this is the team. This team with Mithrala. Something I was testing. I'm not for sure if it's gonna work very consistent. We'll throw in the Diabolus. So guys, hopefully you enjoyed the video. Hopefully now you can have another setup for some duo champions. I bet this works on some other areas in the game as well, but I'm not for sure. Maybe we try it out later on. Matter of fact, actually, no, we could use Mithrala plus Crypt King Grawl. That could work. And Dragon plus Ice Golem. So if I can make that team work, then I'll definitely share that with you all. So guys, thank you all very much for watching. Enjoy this run. Hopefully it goes relatively fast. Sometimes it can be long and slow, but hope you enjoy. Thank you all very much for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next video.